Hello everybody and welcome back to your computer science tutorial. This is section 4 video 3 and today we're going to be talking about pathfinding. And so you might be asking, well, what is pathfinding? Well, you see, pathfinding simply is finding a way from point A to point B. We are not making a pathfinding algorithm because that's way above our skill level currently. But what we will be using is the Unity's pathfinding, which is actually very, very useful because Unity's pathfinding is for the most part efficient enough, but it's very, very well optimized for the z-axis, where anything that we make would have difficulty that way. Let's keep it at that in the simplest terms. But so to do this, we need to make a little course. We have and if I load up our computer science project, and I actually already have it open, so I'm going to open up that now. And I already deleted my pathfinding, so I don't really have an example per se. Let's close that. 1 second. So pathfinding, as you see in a second. You're probably wondering, well, how did you get this navigation thingy? It was kind of cool, right? It was cool. So how you get this window, this navigation window, is you go to Window, and you scroll down, and you click the navigator, or wherever it is. I can't seem to find it. Right here. It'll open up a window that you can use. Now, see, navigation is a little different because, as you'll see in a moment, I built this little course with a little enemy right here, and our end product is, let me delete this first person controller, and then I'm going to create a camera. Push it back and shift it over a smidge, a little more, and if I already have it all set up, or it should be set up. Hopefully it is. I'm gonna bake. Nav meshing requires baking. Just does. That's part of the magic. But so what's gonna happen is, you see, whoa! It just generated that awesome looking thing. Yeah, it did. And what will happen relatively shortly, this is the enemy I set up. Is that if I were to run this, take 1 minute. I'm rendering a video in the background. You see, it'll navigate around that little cube, and it'll go around. It'll go up on that platform, jump across, and after it jumps across, it'll get to its little circly target. So, but you're probably wondering, well, where's all this magic stuff that goes in between, like this giant blue object that's, well, everywhere? This giant blue object that is basically everywhere is called a nav mesh. And computer, well, not a computer, Unity uses this nav mesh to predict a path of least resistance, which is why you saw this spot is red. This is considered a harder area to walk at. It just is. See, you can program in your own. Jump areas cost 2. It's a built-in one I used. You can make a different area with a different cost value, and it'll actually make it so your AI won't travel over, like, say you have like water, like a path of water. You can give water like an insanely high cost value, like 900,000, and so the computer will never go through the water. It'll go around it, or at the bridge where you want it to go around. And that's why you have all of these user areas that you can just denote values, like say mud, can't walk in mud as fast as you can on like a dirt road or something. But that's what areas are, and that's why this is red and this is blue. Blue means that it's a normal area. You can walk in it. And I'm going to delete this nav mesh actually. Start from scratch. So the first thing we need to do is we need to scene filter. Okay. Right now I have it set to all, but the one thing you need to do is that a nav mesh is only generated on objects that are navigationally static. So they're not going to be moving. They can be moving, but that's for another time to deal with. So make sure you check this on navigationally static. Now, I'm not going to generate those just yet. And so let's just generate a see, I have all these set to generate correctly already. So we're going to uncheck these all. Actually, no, that's kind of dumb. What we're going to do is we're going to uncheck the generate online or off mesh links. We don't want we don't want our computer to do that just yet. And navigation static, and then make sure our terrain is okay. There we go. Now, if we're to bake this now, which will take us a second, it's going to build a nav mesh of our entire area of everything that's walkable. Now you might notice something different. You don't have those little lines there, and also this isn't navigationally static, which it should be. Those lines are, you'll see in a second, it's not possible right now to, for this object right here, to find a path to its target, which is right here. What's going to end up happening is it's going to run into this platform right here, because that's as close as it can get, which is one of the downfalls to Unity's pathfinding. I'd have to write a more complex navigation script to make it look in a different angle. So we need it to be, we need to have those jumping areas to bridge the gap between areas like this, where you see we have a slope value here. That palm tree will move, where okay, our guy can walk up this slope. That's set by his go to not big our agent size. Now agent size, this is in Unity they call them agents. Agents are, they're as they sound. They're units. They're the AI that sort of finds its way around the area. They're not literal AIs, but they find a path. They're pathfinders. And so agent size, sort of like how wide they are. So like if I had a gap that was smaller than what they could go through, they wouldn't be able to go through because you're not allowed to. It's just not possible. And if I have a slope, say greater than 1.2, as you see here, that's what I have it set, which is step height, it's not going to be able to jump over that ledge and get onto the next ledge. So these are only 1.2 from the ground, and for the next one at max. They might be a little less, I'm not really sure, but that's what they are. So now our agent can navigate through. I'm going to switch to scene really fast. Our agent can only navigate to this area here because we have no way of getting from, oh gosh, that really flipped my camera, getting from this ledge to this ledge. What we need to do is we need to have something known as off-mesh links. So now if I go to this object, I can click generate off-mesh links, and in our agent, jump distance, you're gonna have to fiddle around to get for how far you like. I said that this was a good distance. Advanced settings. If you want to go into more advanced navigational tools for like a game, say you have zombies in it, you can check out these settings. I'm not quite sure what the settings use. I don't really use the settings, so it doesn't really matter to me. But if I were to, so this is automatic mesh links. But what we can do is if I go to this object in the inspector, let's say you don't want automatic, you want just one way and not automatically made. You can make a what is it called? Off mesh link, and you can give it two transforms. say this cube's transform to cube 2's transform to cube 2's transform. And if we look at our nav mesh now, not nav mesh, you see there's a link there. Now our object can or you should navigate